Okay, we're going to talk about the best way to learn math as an adult, according to me. So, if you're like me, you didn't pay so much attention when you were going to school in elementary school. I was a little bit of a wiggly kid, so I just didn't really pay too much attention. So I have certain gaps in my math knowledge, and I just needed to clear that out because since math kind of builds on top of itself, if you miss something, it's just like everything just falls apart. I mean, I could critique math education more, but there's a lot of websites online like Khan Academy. I hope that's how it's spelled. But Khan Academy is really good when it comes to doing certain things. The problem I find with Khan Academy, because what you need to do to learn something is you have to actually do it. Math is one of those things you have to do. It's not something you can be told. You have to get in there and do it. And Khan Academy is good because it teaches you, then you do something. Maybe I'm too stupid, but when it comes to doing Khan Academy stuff, is a lot of times they teach me something, I think I know it, then I try and do it, and I can't do it. Okay, so that's the problem. And I think what's going on is there's a little bit of lag. So when it comes to Khan Academy, you watch a 10-minute video, okay, and you maybe miss something right here at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. You thought you understood it, but you missed it. And so now when you're doing the math problems, you have to watch the whole video all over again until you find out what you actually missed. Okay, and you're just like, and you might not even recognize it right when you miss it. You might not recognize that you didn't understand that concept. And so then that makes learning math very tedious. And so that's why it's much better to have someone like in person helping you out with math. Because then when you're working on like a math problem, the second you make a mistake, the other person can be like, yo, you messed up this, and let me tell you how that's messed up. Okay? As an adult, like this would be the ideal math education. You know, someone just telling you exactly what to do. But as an adult, you don't have a teacher with you, and you might, if you have money to hire a tutor, yeah, do that. But if you don't have that, then you're kind of out in the water. Like you have to just like do this kind of Khan Academy stuff where you just like go through it and hopefully you know exactly what you don't know, which I feel like a lot of people have a problem with. I certainly do. So the program I'm going to talk about today, I'm not paid by them. I'm not anything like that. It's totally free. Is one where you do get that instant feedback. Okay, where you are supposed to do some math problems, and it teaches you from the ground up. But every single time, it checks to make sure you're there, that you're understanding. And if you don't, it has all these like different hints and like all this other kind of good stuff. So let's go to that. Okay. I'm just going to in private because then it means that you can see exactly, I can see exactly what you see, okay? When you go to this for the first time, because there's no cookies. So the place is called edX. So just search for that, click here. And you just see, oh, what do I want to learn? Okay, the thing that you want to learn, because edX has a lot of different courses. I'm sure there's a lot of different good stuff in here, but there's a few of them that I felt like weren't that great. It felt like, you know, these corporations stuff, they get money, like these corporations, these colleges, they get money from the government to make these like different kind of things. So, you know, they're just like, yeah, I can do that. And I feel like some of them are just going through the motions of making educational content, while some of the educational content is just like above and beyond. So it depends on who's actually teaching the course, how well the course is designed and stuff like that. Sometimes it feels like there's just so many big gaps in the course. It's supposed to be an introductory course and they just skip over all this information. But the one course that's perfect is one by School Yourself. Okay. So if you just search algebra here, there's all these different ones, linear algebra, blah, blah, blah. Just go to the introduction to algebra. And you're saying, wait, I want to learn math. I don't want to learn like algebra. That's too high level. No, but this goes over the basics of math before it gets you to algebra. Okay, so you're going to learn what you need to know. So you click there to sign up for the course. Then it's going to have you register. Okay, since I already have an account, you're just gonna go through here, click create account, and it'll sign you in. So let's go to my other account. Okay, and then it'll say, oh, choose your path. Okay, you can either earn a certificate, which, you pay money to say that you took an online course, which if you're into that, cool. Like that's how, some of these people make money too. So I don't know. But you can just do it for free. Okay. So it starts with the basics. It starts with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, factoring, and you'll just learn all these like little things. Okay. So it teaches you all these things very conceptually. Get rid of that. So here's an example.
The number line is, as its name suggests, a line with a lot of numbers on it. Actually, it has every number.
Okay, and so what's cool about this is you can speed it up if you want. So if you click down here on the 2x, it will go twice as fast.
It's usually drawn as a horizontal line, and you can move along it.
There are some issues, but anyway, they'll explain everything.
So which number do you think is represented by this point over here?
And every time it asks you to get involved. Okay, and you can have a little calculator, you can just draw on it and stuff like that, which I think is real nice. Erase certain stuff. I don't know. It just feels like it's actually been thought out. The only problem is after each section you go through, if you want to listen to it double speed, it is going to reset it to 1x speed. It didn't used to do that, but I guess they just haven't maintained it. But whoever designed it. So if you're confused about this, there's this little stuck get a hint thing. It's kind of hidden by me. But if you look right there, and click on that.
It's 1 to the right or 1 in the positive direction from 5, so it's 6.
This dude, like this grad student or whatever, will literally just like help you figure out if you have an issue with anything. You can just click on get a hint. And so even if you don't understand at all what's going on, and even if no matter how many times you try, you're like, oh, I'm not getting it, then you click on the get a hint and this other guy just helps you out. So it's great. And then once you get that, you know that you understand it. Okay? And usually the guy gives you some positive affirmation, which makes you feel better.
Right. This point represents the number 6.
I mean, he doesn't go overkill. If he asks you a real hard problem, he'll say like, great work. But since we're starting at the basics, he's just not really doing that. Okay, so this is the best way I found to learn math. And you can learn all of the math basics through just like algebra stuff. So you'll go through, factoring and just different stuff like that. I skipped back too far. So that's one course. And if you want to go on to study a different course, the other course that I would suggest is the only other course by School Yourself, which is Introduction to Geometry. And I've been working through that because my geometry teacher in high school just kind of struggled a little bit. And I mean, I struggled to understand what he was talking about. So that's education. It's a disconnect between both people. This is the best course that I've found ever when it comes to introducing geometry. You're gonna go through all of these things, and it's really great. After each section that you do, you'll watch a video lecture, and then after that, you're gonna do a review on it. What's cool about this review is it's going to ask you basically, what is this? What's going on here? And you're going to count like how many sides there are in this polygon and stuff, and you're going to figure it out. But after you answer the first 5 questions correctly, okay, you get a lot of times you get challenge questions, which are questions that integrate like all kinds of knowledge. So what I would usually do is I just go through the 5 questions, the easy ones, the ones that aren't too crazy hard. Sometimes I'd struggle with them. But then after that, you get to go through some really challenging questions, and if you can do those, then you're like the best, and you can just figure out how these concepts interact with each other. So I think that the School Yourself edX stuff, the best math courses you could ever do when you're trying to learn math as an adult. And even if you have gaps in your knowledge, like with me, I did chemistry and I figured out all this stuff, but there's still some things, like sometimes I just randomly get something wrong in algebra. I just really wouldn't understand why. But this can help you just like fill in those gaps in your knowledge. So I suggest this. That's all. Have a good day.